Topic 7 News at 6, a high-ranking chief in the Erie County Sheriff's Office admitting today to a string of hit-and-run crashes on Buffalo's west side more than a year ago. You're watching Chief of Narcotics DJ Granville arrive for his court hearing today, where he pleaded guilty to reckless driving and leaving the scene of an accident with property damage. Good evening once again. This is a major development in a case that began nearly 18 months ago in April of 2024. Video obtained by the Buffalo News appears to show Granville driving the wrong way, hitting multiple cars. These crashes only came to light in March of this year in a lawsuit filed by the owner of one of those vehicles. Granville has been on paid administrative leave since April. Multiple members of our 7 News team covering this story for you today. Senior reporter Michael Wooten will join us with what's next in this complicated case in just a few minutes. But first, 7 News reporter Michael Schwartz is live outside the courthouse with new video from the night of those crashes. Michael.
Yeah, Jeff, new video and new developing situation and information from Sheriff John Garcia, who just sent us an email that said, based on the guilty plea entered today by Granville, he is now suspended without pay. So suspension without pay plus $700 and about 50 hours of community service. That's what Granville was handed down today for his punishment by a judge here in Buffalo City Court for his reckless driving and leaving the scene after causing property damage worth about $60,000 that Erie County taxpayers are now footing the bill for. But I want to show you that new video that we're talking about here. This is from a witness that night, April 11th, 2024. You can see what appears to be Granville sitting in the driver's seat of a smashed up pickup truck. The passenger airbag is deployed, the right front tire going the opposite direction and almost falling off. The witness who took this video in court with me today, she told me Granville got out of the truck and tried fighting with everyone. She says he acted as if he was the police officer handling the situation and even pulling one of the officers off to the side. She said that night she saw beer cans in his truck and feels he got off easy.
Had it been one of us, we would have been locked away. Had it been one of us, it would have been guns drawn at the scene and everything. Had it been anyone else, but since it was him, and I'm so upset. Yeah, I'm just so upset. It just doesn't make any sense.
What message, if the sheriff's watching, his boss, what would you say?
Shame on you. Honestly, shame on you. You should have done way more. For the people that were involved, people in that community, you guys want us to trust you guys and actually go to you guys when there's crimes, and you guys want us to cooperate with you guys, and we can't, because look what you guys do, protect your own. Like, shame on you and shame on everyone else that didn't want to do anything else to help this whole situation.
Now let's take you in court today. Notice you will not be hearing any audio or any background noise as we were only allowed to shoot video, no audio. Granville's attorney, Terry Connors, addressed the courtroom listing Granville's accolades combating drug crimes here within the county. Connors said days before that crash on the west side, Granville went to the hospital on, quote, the verge of PTSD, battling mental and physical challenges. Connors said his client was prescribed medication that was doubled and said that dosage contributed to the crash. Granville then took about a minute to address the courtroom, apologizing to the sheriff, his co-workers, Buffalo police, and his family, saying he accepts full responsibility and wants to get back on the job. The special prosecutor assigned to this case, Niagara County DA Brian Seaman, commended BPD Internal Affairs in their investigation. However, he did say that officers on scene that night, almost a year and a half ago, never did a breathalyzer, field sobriety test, body cam footage was missing, among other things.
None of the Buffalo police officers who were called to respond that night cooperated with my office. None of them would give a supporting deposition when I asked them to do so, and none of them would come and meet with me or any of my investigators to talk about what they observed that night. So our investigation was without any of those things. What we did end up having was observations of citizens, of people.
Well, I asked him, where is the accountability? He said these charges could not be upgraded to felony charges. He also said it took a lot for a member of law enforcement to come here to court in the first place. So, okay, what's next in this investigation? Well, I want to bring in my colleague, Michael Wooten, who explains more of what happens next after City Court. Michael?
Yeah, Michael, there are multiple investigations that continue right now. The criminal probe into all of this is obviously over with today's arraignment and guilty plea, but there are internal investigations with the Sheriff's Office and Buffalo Police that continue as we speak. We'll start with the Sheriff's Office. The statement that Michael mentioned there says that the internal affairs investigation continues with the Sheriff's Office and that DJ Granville is now on unpaid leave until that wraps up because he pleaded guilty today. Meantime, 5 Buffalo police officers, including the lieutenant on the scene, who is the sister-in-law to DJ Granville, all 5 of them remain on paid leave pending the internal affairs investigation with Buffalo Police. I'm told that is progressing along. We knew it could not wrap up until the criminal portion was over, so we'll have to see in the coming weeks if that wraps up. I talked last half hour with John Elmore. He is an attorney, former state trooper, former prosecutor, and here's what he told me about takeaways from what happened in court today and also those internal affairs investigations that continue.
It's very disappointing that body camera evidence wasn't preserved, that it was allowed to be erased. There may have been some officers that neglected their duty and could have falsified police reports, not tell the truth. I mean, when you see a crime committed, you would expect a police officer is going to do the right thing. I don't anticipate that any of them will be fired. I hope that what happened, the police commissioner and the mayor will look at it and get some internal procedures and changes in the way things operate so that it doesn't happen again. And I think that's the most important thing.
Sources have told me that the way this will play out with Buffalo Police is that the internal affairs investigation will wrap up. Those findings will be presented up the ladder, ultimately to the commissioner, who will then decide if any disciplinary action is needed. Again, John Elmore there saying he doesn't expect, Jeff, that anyone will be fired as a result of this, but firing is certainly a possibility along with a lot of others. So this is a story, while the criminal part of this is over, the rest of it is far from over.
And this is a story we've been covering so closely over 18 months today, almost 18 months in the making, but as you mentioned, still some steps to go here. All right, Michael, thank you.